So the manner in which you prepare for nuclear war is, first of all, to withdraw from the cities, at least have a backup residence, a place you can go to in the remote countryside with its own independent supply of water. I went to Skardu and then I drove out into Shigar. And in Shigar, they drink mountain water. Yes, the snow melts and they get the water from the mountains. And they all look so healthy in Shigar, healthy people. And they're able to have their own independent supply of water. And the electricity comes and goes, the internet comes and goes. It's such a nice place to live when you're so remote. And they're able to survive without electricity. They heat their homes with a stove called Bukhara, and they use wood for heating. And so if you move out of the cities and you seek refuge in the remote countryside, mountainsides where 5G and 6G can't reach you, mountainsides and places where rain falls, and you take some sheep and goats, you will have food, you will have milk, you'll have meat, you'll have water. But in addition to that, preparations for the Great War are more urgent for Pakistan than for most of the rest of the world of Islam. And we now turn to that subject. It should not be difficult to understand that as soon as the Great War takes place, the world will witness the passage from Pax Americana to Pax Judaica. That's the purpose of the Great War. Israel cannot become the new ruling state in the world while modern Western civilization still remain the dominant force in the world. And so the purpose of the Great War is to eliminate modern Western civilization as a dominant force in world affairs. That comes as a surprise, isn't it? Yes? That's what they're doing. The people within the West are themselves destroying the West for Israel's sake. And so when Russia defeats NATO in the war which is coming, and I have done sufficient work from the Quran to confirm that Russia will defeat NATO in the war which is coming. When this takes place, and the modern West is no longer a significant force in the world, the coast is clear for now for Israel to stake a claim to become the new ruling state in the world, particularly when Russia and China would be badly injured. They've suffered great destruction in that war. Make no mistake about that. But our point that we now want to make is that Pax Judaica cannot come into being so long as any Muslim country has the military force to destroy Israel. And so Pakistan cannot be allowed to remain a nuclear-armed state. If there are those who differ with me, I'd be happy to hear your views. This is my view. And so when will they strike Pakistan? And how will they do it? The military analysts will be better placed than I am to offer a view of how they will do it. I can offer the view of when they will do it. And that is that as soon as the Great War starts, I expect that's the time that Israel will come out from behind the parda. And you see the face of Israel now. And Israel will lead the attack on Pakistan, with Israel's supreme ally, Modi in India, attacking from one side, and NATO attacking from the other side, and Israel attacking from above. The military analysis of the attack on Pakistan should be made by those who are experts in military analysis. I am not a military analyst. I am an eschatologist. I use the Quran to explain the reality of the world today. So let the military expert do the task that he is trained to do, to explain if an attack is launched on Pakistan to denuclearize Pakistan, how will it take place? That's not my field. Let him do it. But the purpose of the attack would be to denuclearize Pakistan. Will they succeed? I see absolutely nothing at all, not even a straw of evidence that will confirm to me that Pakistan can succeed in remaining a nuclear-powered state. How do I come to that conclusion? My answer is, you cannot be a successful Pakistan unless and until the Quran becomes the foundation of your state and of the conduct of state. Because absolute truth is in the Quran, it's not in parliament. It's not in any political party at all. Absolute truth is in the Quran. The Quran is al-haqqul yaqeen. And therefore only the Quran can explain the reality that confronts you today in the world. If you do not understand that reality, how can you respond to it successfully? That's elementary logic. And Pakistan has never turned to the Quran. From day one to this day, has never turned to the Quran as its supreme guide. So you pay the price. You will pay the price for having neglected the book of Allah. And where are the scholars in Pakistan who can guide you from the Quran? Listen to my analysis. Allah says in the Quran that this book explains all things. Where does he say so? He does that in Surah An-Nahl. He says, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبْيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ إِلَى آخِرِ الْآيَةِ. And we have sent down to you, O Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, the kitab which explains all things. And so my question is this: if the Quran explains all things, and if the most amazing phenomenon that has ever occurred in history, from the time of Adam alayhi salam to the last day, nothing has occurred in history comparable to the emergence of modern Western civilization. A civilization with irresistible power. Power that no combination of rivals can resist. a civilization which has used that power to embrace the whole world. Everywhere you go, the West has put its stamp. A civilization which uses power to oppress. A civilization which corrupts and destroys everything it touches. And a civilization which is obsessed with Jerusalem. They waged the Crusades to liberate Jerusalem. They're the ones who brought the Jews back to Jerusalem to reclaim it as their own 2,000 years after Allah had expelled them. They're the ones who have restored a state of Israel in the Holy Land. And they are the ones who are now poised to cause that Israel to replace the United States as the next ruling state in the world. Is it possible that the Quran is silent on this subject? I pause for you to think. Is there anyone in Pakistan, even one scholar, one Islamic scholar, one mufti, one sheikh, one maulana, one university graduated scholar of Islam who has explained from the Quran, or who has even attempted to explain from the Quran the explanation of the phenomenon of modern Western civilization? If Iqbal was alive, he'd have done it long ago. If Iqbal was alive, he would have done it long ago. Because Iqbal had a different profile of scholarship. It was a profile of scholarship which was incipient. It was just emerging. It was like a rose which was just a bud in Iqbal. And that rose which was just a bud bloomed in my teacher, Maulana Dr. Muhammad Fazlur Rahman Ansari. And I have been blessed to inherit that profile of scholarship. That is the reason why I've been blessed to pioneer Islamic eschatology and to offer an explanation from the Quran for the phenomenon of modern Western civilization. Several of my books have answers to that question. And so I don't see any evidence at all that a Pakistan which has consistently neglected the Quran can possibly respond successfully when that war takes place. What then should Pakistan do at this time? If you listen to me and you agree with my views that I'm correct, well then what should Pakistan do? I am singling out Pakistan because this is the most important part of the world of Islam when the war takes place. Not Turkey and not Saudi Arabia, Pakistan. My answer is, and the retired military officers who are listening would be pleased with this, because this is their branch of knowledge. My answer is that our Prophet, Allah's blessings be upon him, had a sunnah which included strategic affairs. I call it the strategic sunnah. What was the strategic sunnah? Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam would not sit down doing nothing and allow his strategic environment to imprison him, to corner him. No, he would not do that. Prophet Muhammad, Allah's blessing be upon him, this strategist, would take initiatives, intelligently planned and conceived initiatives to transform his strategic environment in order to make it more favorable. So he would not be sitting down doing nothing. He'd be moving forward. I saw in the late General Zia-ul-Haq of Pakistan, I saw in him a man who was at least trying. He used something called cricket diplomacy to try to transform the strategic environment. But we need more than that at this time. Pakistan has a little time, just a little time, to try to transform the strategic environment in order to prepare itself better for that day when the Great War begins. And as I expect, the simultaneous attack on Pakistan to denuclearize Pakistan. What are the initiatives that Pakistan can take? I cannot reveal my views in public on such a thing. No, I can only speak privately on this. And this Zoom session doesn't qualify as a private session. Only when you're sitting with me privately, only then I will express my views as to what initiatives Pakistan can take during this period that now remains before the Great War, in order to change and modify the strategic environment in order to make it more favorable for Pakistan.